Hey traders, how you going? Alright, so I've got a very simple strategy for you guys, which involves looking for a 3-bar candlestick pattern, in particular, the evening star and the morning star pattern. Now, this doesn't happen all of the time, but when it does happen, then you've got a potential setup to take a trade. Now, if you guys are following some of the rules that I've stated in the previous videos, whereby you're looking for your 2 or 3 perfect setups for the day trading binary, then this might actually be a nice one to add to your arsenal if the market sets this up for you. Now, again, it's not going to happen all of the time. I like particularly doing this off a 15-minute chart. You can pretty much search for them on any chart or any time frames. Personally, I've only looked at them on a 15-minute time frame, so and plus expiry wise, you're probably better off with them. And by saying only on a 15-minute time frame, I'm actually meaning the lowest time frame I've looked at is the 15-minute chart for these patterns. Okay, now so let's just have a Google Images look at what a morning star or an evening star pattern looks like. Okay, let me look for an easy picture. Okay, let's do this one. So basically all it is a candle of one color followed by a doji. This one in particular can be any color, but I'd like it to be in the direction in which we're going. So for example, if this is going to be a morning star pattern, then I'd like this to possibly be a green one. It doesn't have to be, okay? But I'd like it for it to be a tiny green one. It just gives you more of a confirmation that there's a strong push up, right? And then another candle going in the direction in which you'd like it to go. So this has to be a different color to this one. Okay, simple. Yes, it's you guys probably would have figured that out anyway, because if this is pushing back up again, this is going to be a green candle, right? So I hope you guys have got that. Let me pull this one up so it looks bigger. Again, candle of one color, doji, candle of another color, right? Simple. Okay, let's jump onto the charts to have a look at it. Now, one of the key criteria to this is that morning star patterns, you only want to find that at whatever the low of the session of the day is, right? So in this case, look at this. This is a red candle followed by a little tiny doji with a long wick. It's a red one, so remember where I said I'd like it to be green. If it's not, it's still okay. This push up here, this candle here, and this wick here, which doesn't penetrate past this one, is a bit of a confirmation for me that this setup is an accurate one for me. And so the trade that we take, now let me zoom in a little bit and get rid of the fibs. Okay, so the trade we take after this setup has happened is on the next candle after it. So the Morningstar pattern, which is going to be down here, it's the second green candle on which you're taking the trade, right? So let me just clarify again. Morningstar pattern, red candle followed by doji followed by a green candle, and then you can, in some instances, you can wait for a pullback. How far that pulls back is entirely up to you. It may help you to filter out any other possible, like this may end up being a little tiny red candle or doji or something like that, which may help you filter out a possible loss so you can trade on the pullback. But if you're comfortable with this, you jump straight into it, and this would be a call for 15 minutes, and duration is just for one candle. Okay. All right, so let me zoom back out again and let's go look for a few examples. Now, as I've said, you're not going to have this setup happen all of the time. It's just when it does happen, you're more familiar with it. And so you can possibly take a trade. Now, for the Morningstar setups, I'm kind of looking at the bottom part, the peaks that you can see, and you will see it. If you can understand the market directional movement, and you gradually will be able to, then you'll be able to, or you should be able to pick that up quite easily. Now, here's two examples, one of what you should do and one of what you shouldn't do. See this here? where it's a green candle followed by a little red one, and then a red candle going south. Now this would qualify it as a evening star pattern if it was up here somewhere, right? And here is an evening star pattern where you've got a few candles going up. So it's given us a bit of a wave. Then we've got a little red doji followed by another red candle, and you can take your entry at the start of the next red candle, do a put, and the duration would be for 15 minutes. So in this case, this is an evening star pattern, and that would qualify if it was up here. See how there's a wave going up? For down here, what you're looking for is a morning star pattern. What that would be is, again, a red candle followed by a doji and then a green candle, and then you would take a entry on the following green candle. Okay. The reason why I'm sharing this one now is it's something that we look for, especially on forex trades. However, the following candle after the pattern has formed, to me, looks quite good. So it's it's a possible binary entry for us, something familiar, something we can trade. See here, red candle followed by a doji. Now here's the other thing. This is at the low. And even up here, although this is not the official high of this session, we are still within a wave, right? So to me, and also you'd probably analyze to see where price is in according to the market cycle. If, say, for instance, the market's done a double top up here somewhere and it's coming down and it's doing its waves going south, this is perfect. Just to confirm that that's exactly what's going on. If this is just a slowdown, the market's pulling down and then it's going to continue up, and you know this because you've got a double bottom formation here and the market's pushing up in waves, then you might want to consider missing this one. Also, the other thing you want to be mindful of here is that this is right here, this candle is the open of the Frankfurt session, right? So I'd rather not take trades at the start, the very start, or the very end of a session. Okay, so just be careful around those time zones because the market could do anything. It could spike up, it could spike down. So just be careful there. This is close to the end. So here is a morning star formation again. Morning star down below, evening star up the top, and what you do at the end of this candle, once this is formed, you could look for a slight pullback here and take a call for 15 minutes, the duration of this. Here's another one. This is an evening star one, which would happen early or mid Asian session. A green candle, doji, red candle, and then you take your entry off the next one. In this case, I would prefer if the third candle within the whole pattern be a longer one. So, for example, here, this is a nice solid green candle. This is a smaller red one. If you want to miss it, you could. Okay. Notice how on the 15-minute charts, it's not very often that this setup happens. We tend to apply this setup. You could probably use this one here as well. This one's a fantastic one. And notice how here if you take if you look for entries way too much after these candles, you diminish your chances of actually having a winning one. Okay, so red, doji, green, entry here. There's one that I wanted to show you that was this another pair where the third candle didn't quite. Okay, so this is AUD USD pair. Okay, I'll see if I can find it where the candle that we would trade on ended up being the wrong color, but it's a tiny doji, so that's why I'm saying trade pullbacks where you could potentially avoid those sorts of losses. Notice here's another one, Morningstar pattern, red candle, tiny doji, green candle, you take your entry here. So far, everything that we've seen has been a win. Okay, so again, if you're only doing maybe 6 to 10 trades a week, if you're lucky enough to find them, fantastic. This here, look at this. This is This is something. This is a massive. Some must have been news as well. But at that point in time, this would have been the official high, right? So a green candle, green little doji. This I don't like the size of the body of this candle, but if you wanted to consider this to be a bit of an evening star setup, you could take an entry here. This would have been a fairly volatile trade. However, it would have still won. Okay, let me look for more. This doesn't actually exactly suit me in terms of Morningstar. However, because this is just too big for my liking, this candle here, I'd like it to be a smaller doji, where it to me just says, you know, the dealers is just sitting there for a little while. But however, if you wanted to take something like this would have still won. Okay, so you pretty much have an idea of what I'm talking about. Similar setup, not exactly evening star, but smaller body there. You kind of get the point of what I'm trying to say, right? Here's another one. A great red candle. This is the actual low. This is Morningstar. Tiny enough doji, nice green candle. And take your entry on the next one. Okay, so far, pretty much everything that I've seen has won. I'm going to say this is probably a 90% one, just in case, because I do get cop a lot of flack from people because I throw those percentages out there. So you could, if you pick your trades well, you pretty much could get about 100% out of this, because again, it's not that common. Let's just have a quick jump onto the Euro USD pair to see if this sets up anywhere. Okay, yeah, you could say this one here might have been one, and we would have taken an entry at the open, and that would have been a loss. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying this one could have been one, although this is the high, this is a bit of a peak. What you could do is also add to your criteria the fact that when the market is a bit choppy like this, then you avoid your trades. Well, pretty much avoid your trade whenever the market is choppy in any case. Okay, but we'll still count that as a bit of a loss. See here's something that I think really does apply. A lot of people may count this to be an evening star pattern because, you know, when you look at all of this, it wouldn't have existed. Remember when I said I'd like for the body to be a nice strong long one, long to some extent. Establish your own criteria around this, because this is a clear giveaway that you know, if the body here is tiny, chances are something like this can happen and you can lose a trade. Okay, so establish a very strict criteria around it if you can. Here's two that we see. This one here, you take the trade on the open of this one. This one here, you take the trade on the open of that one. So yeah, I'd say about an 80-90% chance or win rate on this one. Okay, you guys get the picture, I assume. So that's it. All right, so going back, just jump onto Google and type in Morningstar pattern. What's morning? Candlestick. Sorry guys, I'm holding the mic with one hand and typing with another. Okay, just jump onto images and you'll have the basic idea of what they are. Okay? All right, all the best.